Saturday, September 11, everybody. It's 9 o'clock. It's Thane and Sophia here till about 10:30, 11. Welcome to the program. How's it going there, Sophia? Good?
It's been an anxiety-riddled day.
Right.
So I've obsessively baked, and now I'm just trying to, with some skincare.
Okay, so you're self-loving yourself. Is that what it's called?
That's right. How was your day?
My day was good. It was kind of relaxing. I managed to get one episode of my Gold Rush show that I watch on Discovery. I managed to try and get that couple eps in, so that made me a little bit happy. And
aren't they just the weirdest, though?
Just a nothing day, really. I got to be honest with you. So nothing really happened. We've got to bring in our guy here, our fact checker. He's a show fact checker. Hard to bring the fact checker in. We've just lost connection with Benny Boy, but his job is to just fact check any conversation that we might have that pops up along the way. Welcoming some listeners in. Hayley Broughton. Kilda. Harley. There you go. That's better. I left the R out. That's weird for me, being a professional.
That's all right. You're doing something else at the same time.
Yeah, that's why I need Benny Boy to come back, because I need to start sharing the live stream.
Well, you do that, and I'll talk to myself and my friends here on the chat. Who else is out there? Hey, Harley, how's it going? So I'm using today. You know, when you go to the supermarket, for the people who are the main supermarket shopper, could you turn the music bed down just a little bit?
Sure.
And you sort of go into the skincare aisle, or I don't know, maybe the chocolate aisle, depending on what you're into, and you just find random shit that you're like, you know what, I've got to have it, because there's nowhere else you can shop. So you just have to start buying stuff from the supermarket that you'd never usually buy. Well, I went a little bit ham, and at the Chemist Warehouse, the variety is far better than the supermarket, and I found these little eye sheet masks. Not bad.
Oh, cool.
I don't know if they're good, but
hey, thank you very much there, Harley. Hopefully you have a good night. Just for being on screen, you go on the draw for our Luv-A-Pies 12-pack we're giving away before we end the show tonight. So stay tuned, mate. You're in there. Very good evening to Jody Clark. Welcome to the show, Jody.
Hi, Jody. Has anyone else been buying weird stuff at the supermarket or... You know, Adam, I really would. But cucumbers like $7 at the moment. So... I'm resorting to. Plus, I should probably be here without cucumber on my ass. I don't want to be too rude. Is anyone else getting fantastic deals in the weird departments?
Who is that background music okay now? Is it doable?
Well, no, I think it's gone. Sorry.
We'll just turn it up a touch. Okay.
You get the levels right there.
How's that going?
Yeah.
Good. Okay. Let's pop off to our fact checker. Welcome.
All right. Yeah, good. Do you read me loud and clear? Over.
Loud and clear, Benny.
To be honest, you could be a little louder, though, Ben. I don't know if you can turn yourself up there.
Well, I'll just speak up a little bit. How does that sound if I just speak up a wee bit? Check.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, that's good.
Okay, beautiful. So today we're celebrating 9/11. I'm not sure if it's really a celebration, but of course we still don't know. I'm still checking the facts on that one. The information coming back is we still don't know whether it was a false flag or a terrorist attack, but all we know is weapons of mass destruction.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
That's all we're seeing. That's all we're seeing here. But a fateful day in history, definitely a day the world stood still, and definitely the beginning of a new world order, I guess you could call it. Anyway.
It was awful. It feels weird. The bed's gone a bit high again. I feel like we're, we're talking about 9/11, but we're also jamming with a sax. Yeah, it's a
Well,
weird
guys, just
conversation.
before I bring on our first caller of the night, I would just like to quickly reminisce and show you some just unforgettable footage from that day. You don't want to see it?
Well, should we maybe just preempt it by, if there's anyone who's watching, we're about to play a recap from September 11. If you don't want to see it, it is upsetting. Please just go and make a cup of tea.
Okay, all right. Yep, here we go, guys. Let's have a look.
Holy shit.
Pretty unbelievable.
Holy shit! Holy...
Look at it coming in here. Boom. Whew. Wow. So fast too, eh?
Holy shit! Holy shit!
And a lot of that footage I haven't actually seen before. I've seen some of those shots, but holy hell.
And I think it changes
watching it live.
as you grow up a wee bit and you see it. Yeah, I agree, Adam. I remember seeing that and thinking like it was bombs blowing up and then you see the planes and you're just, oh my God, it's shocking.
Rohan's craving some pies here. Rowie, just by being on screen, you're in the draw now for a 12-pack of Luv-A-Pies.
Officially in the draw.
Let's get some chat going. We've got a call. Hello, caller. How are you?
It's our
Hello,
lovely
guys. How are
sponsor.
we today?
How are you?
Oh, I'm pretty good now. This morning I was a little bit dusty, but had too many gins, so I would like to apologise to all the listeners. Yesterday I did have a phone problem that I was slurring, but I've got it sorted today.
Hey, what I liked about last night, you were wearing your sexy glasses. Now you're back to your business, not so sexy glasses, you know?
Well, I can put those on for you if you wish. I've just got to back up
that'd
here.
be.
Yes, please.
How are they?
Better.
See? There we go. There
Yeah.
we go. What's on your
G'day,
face? You
Michelle.
got some blackheads, Sophia. You're trying to get rid of, or?
Oh no, it's this shitty little skincare thing I found at the chemist warehouse, you see. I'm going for the eye bags, the lack of eye bags.
What colour's on your nails today?
Oh, okay. So it's an Essie colour and I just got it and it's quite great. So I went to the chemist warehouse to get some Panadol and then I discovered that they've got everything.
They do.
So I went for a wee bit of a shop.
Oh,
sweet.
Well,
hold those fingers up again. Let's have
Huh?
another look. Can we have a look at those fingers again? There you go.
Little chopsticks for you.
Yeah.
What do they call it? Twinkly fingers or star fingers? What was that?
Jazz hands.
Yeah,
The
that's
jazz
it. That's it.
hands.
Where's your jazz hands, Thane? Come on, let's all jazz hands together.
Yes, hands it up.
But it's the face. You gotta
Now, we've got a guest tonight. His name's Khan Hall. He's a DJ, but also he's one of these guys that kind of like does posts about 11/11, you know, at the time. I don't know if it's superstition. He's a very open-minded guy. He's a thinker, and he's talking about COVID passports. Things got pretty depressing today, didn't they, Sophia, when we kind of like, you can see mainstream media kind of turning and going, nah, we're not out of this yet. As we've got some untraceable cases, they're growing. I think our infections grew today. So
it did. And I said today, you know, after our chat last night, Luke, I said, I reckon that resurgence payment has been flicked on because they know we're going to they're giving us another week at level 4. And then I just felt a wee bit sad, which seems, you know, when you say it out loud, a little bit like a privileged, entitled scenario to go, oh, I'm safe inside my house for another week. But, sometimes my kids want to go back to school and I want to go and work and be in my, little day-to-day routine.
It is such a sad time at the moment because, I mean, there are a lot of people who are locked down. We've got to do it. As I said yesterday, probably. Actually, don't remember much of the show at all yesterday, to be honest.
You gave us $500. We just want to remind you on that.
Oh,
do you remember that?
The fact? Pardon?
What, do you remember that?
We might have to go to the fact man and just get a replay on that, and then we'll sort that out.
He fact-checked it, and it was 100% factual. That's happening. Okay. We can't wait. And I was going to say, I've got my Xero open so I can invoice you tonight because the first week's done.
Straight away. Is this your first invoice, 001?
Well, I created a new business today on the company's office. We're coming live.
You might get a response for that. Hey, look, I'm fetching a lot of phone calls today from operators. They're really sad. The guys in Queenstown, they're all 75% down. They're really struggling down there. And they're missing Aucklanders as well. They are missing Aucklanders. But it's going to carry on. But I wish the government and the dear old government, or whatever side you're on, I just wish there was just some transparency to say, look, guys, this is where we're at. I'm not too sure if I mentioned the school holidays yesterday, but we're going to be hitting them shortly. So my prediction is we're going to be level 4 for a couple more weeks, then level 3, and then we're going to hit school holidays because they can't have all the Aucklanders just go whoosh, and let's get that.
Can't. So we've got school holidays. I think for our school, it's like September 30 is when we break. And so you've got that school holiday time. The Lola had a little mini camp cancelled. Honey's last camp, well, first and last, has been cancelled. And then they're supposed to be going on break at September 30th. I mean, I don't understand. We won't go back before then, I don't think.
No, I don't think we will. And there's all those school balls as well, all those girls that just get all clammed up. School balls are a big thing, right? All those cancellations.
Oh, of course. It's a rite of passage, It's really a sweet little thing. Jodie's saying, I'm finding it hard working in Northland, living in Auckland. It's super hard to get in. Oh, Jodie, can you pop onto the stream? Is that what it's called? Yes, it is. Onto the stream on our screen, because that's really interesting. And I've heard that they are not giving anyone an exemption pass. 85% of people are being declined.
All right. I was thinking the other day, would it be? Could you stow away in a main freight truck? Do they check the trucks? Like a prisoner getting escaped out of prison, and you could actually hop into a main truck or a courier truck and just get through.
I think you possibly could get a courier truck. We need to know someone who's on the border who can give us a couple of tips. I've always thought like that, though, weirdly, Luke. I've got a plan of, just say if you got kind of someone rolled you in your house, how you would get out, what you would do, what your next steps would be. I find that very interesting. So let's work on the scenario. How would you get past the border if you really needed to? Now, this is for only educational purposes. Yeah. This is not like we're going to do this. I want to quantify that. We're not promoting that somebody does that, but let's all have a think. We're smart people. Why don't you hit us through the texts, and if the winning one gets a $50 voucher, sorry, $25 voucher to Midnight Gardener. Now, Luke, hold the phone there for a second. 3 minutes past 9 o'clock, our fact checker is here just to double check the Luke Dallow gin incident last night and him helping us fundraise through sponsorship. Have you got any facts on that?
Yeah, I can confirm that that did happen, and basically what happened was last night 3 $25 vouchers. He also promised a bottle of champagne, and
launch party.
a launch party, endless dumplings. And also, there was a verbal contract made that is legally binding. $500 a show, of course, 6 shows a week, $3,000.
I'm sure it was $500 a week, not a show. This is
we checked the footage. We ran it through last night with the legal team. It's a big infrastructure. We've got people running around back here. You think this show puts itself together? You're dreaming.
You're dreaming.
No.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Blood, sweat, and tears.
Other facts we've got through Chemist Warehouse, yes, similar to the Wari Whare and similar to Warehouse Stationery, but just for Band-Aids and tampons. And other than that, if you want to cross the border, we've heard that you can actually hijack a microlight from Ardmore and fly to Coromandel Peninsula. Those are the facts, Jack.
Wow.
Oh, man. Man, how about that?
Well, there you
Goodness
go.
me, Luke.
15 minutes
Aren't
past
you
one.
generous?
How very generous, so it seems. I had my hat. Oh, my Lord. Oh. All right. Let's sell some more beer. Oh, that's right. We're not open.
It's tough.
We'll say at level 4, we'll accept $500 a week.
I'll tell you what, I'm just going to go through those facts. But I do remember $500 now. Someone just texted me, said you did mention that, Luke, and I'll just double check how often that is. But there you go. Hey, I just want to go back to 9/11, that fateful morning for New Zealand, that morning that we woke up. Where were you guys?
Oh, that's a good question, actually, Luke. I was in bed asleep, and then I got a call in the middle of the night, said, you better turn your TV on. It's the end of the world. And I was like, what? And I remember going into the lounge with the remote and then turning on the TV and then immediately seeing the replay of the first building. And then I was just like, get in here, guys. And then I saw the second plane hit the building live. And I just thought, wow, this is going to be war instantly. So then I went up to George and then I called TV3 and I put TV3's news on, ABC News, with Peter Jennings on all day on a small transmitter. And we were just hunched around the footage, just gobsmacked of watching it, because it's on a loop and it kept on repeating and repeating and repeating. And then I remember hearing the bodies hit the ground in the background and it was just like, it was shocking. It was shocking, but I couldn't stop watching it. What about you, Sophia? Where did you watch it?
Well, I heard about it when I got to the dairy on my way walking to school. I was 11, I think. And I was walking and I got to the dairy to meet my friends and they were like, oh my God, did you see the news? Blah, blah, blah. And of course, my dad lives there over in the States. And so I immediately, being 11, having no idea where New York was in relation to Texas, was like, oh my God, my dad. We ended up sort of running all the way down to school. And then they put us in the classrooms and turned all the TVs on, which you probably couldn't do these days because you couldn't sort of expose kids to stuff like that without permission from their parents. But we certainly sat there and took it in all day. Then finally got home and called my dad and everything was fine on his end, but the rest of the world had sort of erupted into chaos.
Wow. So you were just a teenager when it happened?
Sorry?
You were a teenager when it happened?
Yeah, I was 11. I was at Glen Eden Intermediate by that point.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
I was 32 and I remember it. I always used to watch the breakfast news just to keep up to date, and I had one eye open it and I thought, oh, what movie is this? And I looked at it because it was just done out of your mind. You didn't expect it. No. And then you breaking news, XYZ, and then with this panic, and then almost like you, Thane, you're just watching it and the second plane goes in.
Yeah.
And you just go, holy crap. Yeah. And then I think the second or third thing that really got me is when the tower collapsed.
Oh yeah,
that dust and the paper dropping down, and it was
so eerie.
Yeah,
crazy.
And then seeing Bush getting whispered in the ear and carry on with his little 5 minutes, being so calm and cool and collected, and in his body he must have been erupting.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
If you have just joined us, we're talking 9/11 tonight. Welcome to the show. There is a link in the comments that you can join us on our little program here. Coming up, Khan Hall joins us. We're talking COVID passports and just the thoughts on that. If you want to talk about 9/11, we welcome your messages as well. Any message that makes it on goes into the draw to win heaps of prizes tonight. Hey, Sam's got an interesting question here. Tell me, New Zealand, what's my chances of getting back for Christmas from Melbourne? What do you reckon, team?
0?
Well, yeah, I don't think you're looking that good, personally, unless you jump in a boat, you're rowboating, you row over and just say, you're doing one of those competitions across the sort of, across the old Tasman. Someone's going to pick you up. I mean, you may as well start. And if you get to such a point, someone's going to get you back to New Zealand and go, here you go, buddy. So you're in.
Yeah.
Steve-O's saying chances are 0 coming back.
Yeah. I think they've closed everything till at least November. So, yeah, I don't know, which is so sad.
Back
Adam,
to 9/11, Adam. 20 years later, the US has just pulled their troops. Pretty long war, eh? Crazy war.
Crazy. And then you see photos of the Taliban today, like whipping women in the protests, and just, oh my God.
It's just
the world
wrong.
is going to hell.
Yeah. Lucky to be here.
Absolutely.
And
then when you whinge about getting another level 4 week, you're like, oh, I'm gonna.
Oh well.
Okay. What do we got? 9:21. Ben, what's the update on the facts, mate, buddy?
Yeah, I just want to recount where I was.
Please.
When the buildings were, well, I was 18 years old, sunbathing next to the lagoon pool in Barbados, just about to sell. I had a deal all lined up, and I was just about to sell my first Fortune 500 company. I had a feeling in the pit of my stomach, a horrible feeling in the pit of my stomach. My business was now worthless. I worked as a trainer. I taught air stewardesses.
Oh, of course, right. Yeah, you're
and
totally
that's a fact.
Business. Thank you very much, matey. Well, there you go. It killed a lot of things that day, didn't it? Including Benny Boy's business. So
was that a fact?
I don't know about that fact, to be
honest.
Have
you got a fact finder to find out the fact finder's facts?
We need it.
Yeah, it looks like. Hey, we're going to give you that job, Luke. What do we got? We got our special guest here. Hold the line, everybody. (9:23). Welcome to the show, Khan Hall. How are you, mate? All right?
Not too bad. How are you guys? Hey, Sophia.
Good. How are you?
Good.
Very good.
How's this, eh? You've got intros. We're talking to people. It's a little bit of talkback show we've created over the lockdown, and it's keeping us entertained.
It's true.
Fancy. I like it.
Yeah. Hey, now, Sophia brought to my attention this afternoon that you've got a post that's going off on your Facebook page, and it's COVID vaccinations. Can you walk us through?
It's the vaccination passport, isn't it?
Yeah. So
I was cruising the Facebook comments, and it was getting really heated. And I was like, whoa, what's happening there?
Yeah, I mean, it's a polarizing subject at the moment, is it? For everybody, this is a very real thing that everyone's going through at the moment with the whole COVID debacle, and everyone's lives and livelihoods have been turned upside down, and people know people that have been affected by it, and there's a lot of changes happening, imminent changes in society and things like that are happening at the moment. So people are pretty charged up by it, I don't think I don't think anyone on social media or anyone watching this is unaffected by it in some way, shape, or form.
Totally. Can you just, from the top, can you walk us through that post about the COVID passport and give us a reaction, what people are saying about it?
Yeah, so I took it from another channel that I follow. A guy had shared it, and I'm not sure if he was the original author or if he'd taken it from another source, but it was along the lines of if people go to my page, I'm Khan Hall on Facebook, and you can have a look. It's one of the top ones on there at the moment, and it's just in relation to like if you hadn't thought about what a vaccine passport might look like or where it could go, just some of the like potential, where it could go. And sometimes these things are sort of overlooked. People just think like, oh, it's just do whatever for the greater good. Just sign up to this, sign up to that. But sort of the problem is where does it stop? And it's all well and good now while we have a very forgiving and quite how would I say it? Friendly leader in place and leadership, but these laws often get and changes get signed into effect, and then 15 years time you might not have as as nice a leader or leadership as we do now. Things change, and the government powers, and they remain, they stay for the long term. So,
and like I was reading, like some of the posts said that politicians, they're signing deals and what have you, and some are corrupt, and the pharma companies are all powerful, and so they could sell information at any time. It could be part of the deal. We don't know, right?
It's all lots of could be's obviously at the moment, but the thing is that these pharmaceutical companies have acted in their own best interests in the past and haven't sort of, you can read their rap sheets. I mean, you could just Google, as an example, Pfizer, violation tracker or Pfizer legal battles or something like that, and it will come up with a shopping list as long as your arm. So at the end of the day, if it was your pharmaceutical company and the difference between making $1 million or making $1,000, like how would you behave, And we're led to believe that obviously they're accountable to checks and balances, and for the most part they are. You can't get away with just like giving someone poison to a degree, but there's so much, forgive my French here, like fuckery that goes around with regards to fact checkers and validators of this and peer review journals. This, like, it's essentially, in my humble opinion, it is a lot of the time comes down to the highest bidder, and people seem, evidently very easily corrupted when it comes to personal financial gain.
And I think we're also in a time where we're in such a unique spot where we're in an emergency, which means that we can fast track, which means people are more open to doing things that maybe they wouldn't normally have done, or they may not have the same viewpoint that you would usually have because you feel like it's a must. Like, that is how I feel. Like, I feel like this is something that has to be done. So I'm double vaxxed already. I'm like, okay, yep, I want to be safe. I want other people to be safe, but at the same time, when I read your post, I thought, oh my God, actually, there's a lot of things that if you look at them now and you think, okay, when did this come into effect? Maybe 10 years ago, like you say, whatever it would be, why are you doing that face, Thane? What is that supposed to be?
Oh, we had a message come from Sam. So we said, give a little for Khan Hall to get some wireless earbuds.
Okay.
I've got the wireless earbuds actually, but I just I try not to use them too much because I don't want to be beaming the Wi-Fi frequencies to my head, Bluetooth.
Okay. So I think when I read your post, I thought that's actually really interesting. And the part that I took away from it that was really interesting for me was when people were saying, okay, well, if you had this passport, this vaccination passport, and it was, for example, on your phone, and it was green when you were double vaxxed, and then you had to get the booster and it would turn orange. So if you didn't get the booster, it might turn white. And if it was white, then you weren't able to go into restaurants, or you weren't able to travel, et cetera, and it was a digital passport. And then could people like Pfizer bribe politicians to add more things in so that they could make more money based on the things that you needed to go and have, like shots and things like that? And if you didn't have them, you would be restricted in some way, shape or form. And I feel like with everything that we're doing on our phones and all of the technology that's sort of accidentally taken us here through Facebook and Instagram and all of that sort of stuff, it's just really, you wouldn't have imagined Instagram or Facebook doing what they've done in the last 10 years, but yet here we are. So it's a worthy consideration, isn't it?
Yeah. Can I just quickly, I'm just going to jump in quickly too. there are lazy people, and I probably about 30% on this side of the fence, where you sign up to Facebook, you sign up to apps, and you bring things down from the internet, and you allow cookies to be followed around. My little excuse is when I go, have you read our terms and conditions? Yep, done. Haven't read them because Facebook have got our information anyway. What have I got to hide? And privacy and stuff. We give away so much of our privacy and so much of our rights now just as a whim. You know what I mean? I'm just like, next.
Yep.
I don't care, sure. And also, I've got so many apps on subscription, and they're just constantly taking money out of my bank account. I was like, oh, shit, I better shut that down next week, but I never do. So there's a lot of those people out there who are just willing to give it all away and don't really care. And then there are people like you that are kind of like questioning, those things. So, yeah.
Yeah,
that's
well,
all I got to say about it.
People bring up the point or the argument that you've already got all these apps on your phone, or one of the commenters on the post talked about when they traveled in the 90s for work overseas that they didn't have any problems carrying a vaccination passport and stuff like that. And with regards to it back in that era, like a paper passport's very different to something digital for one. And yes, we do carry around these devices on our phone that basically have tracking in them. We love our Google Maps, and we love, Facebook and all these mediums that we sort of, like you said, willingly sign our life away through the terms and conditions policies. But those companies don't have access to the police force. They don't have access to the IRD. They don't have access to at the moment, what we believe is insurance companies. They don't report back to all these other sort of government entities that would be tethered to, say, the vaccine passport app, which reports directly back to the government. And now people then bring up the argument, well, I've got nothing to hide, therefore it's not a problem, right? And I don't do anything wrong. But again, back to my point with regards to it's all well and good when you have a very forgiving and very nice, happy, clappy leadership. But when that situation changes, those powers and that legislation and those laws and those technologies are never revoked by governments. They don't spend $1 billion developing a vaccine passport application to go, we're just going to use it for the next year and then it's going to go away. No, it's like
and that's what I think we kind of think. We're like, oh yeah, we should need it for like the next couple of years if we want to travel and do X, Y, Z. If we want to, like everyone else on my Instagram feed, going to Greece or something, you go, oh yeah, well I'd love to do that. And if it only took having a vaccination passport, I'd totally do that. Roll on the next flight out. But it's not about that at the end of the day, is it? Because it's the long term.
Yeah, totally.
It's the potential for long-term ramifications, and the thing is that it's, as we've seen from the start of COVID, it was just 2 weeks to flatten the curve, and it was just this, and it was just that, and there's the analogy of the frog being boiled in water, right? You put the frog straight into boiling water, it hops out, it's too hot. You put the frog into tepid water and heat it up, and it won't realize it's being boiled. And now that's a very that's drawing a long bow to suggest like, oh, you're a conspiracy theorist with your tinfoil hat. The government doesn't give a fuck about what you're up to, or rah-rah-rah or whatever, which may be the case, but you never know when that situation is going to change. And again, you have a change in leadership or people that get into power that are less forgiving, that have those access to those sort of powers and provisions that have been made in the past.
A lot for us to think about. Hey, thank you very much for joining us tonight, mate. Really appreciate it.
No worries. Thank you very much, guys. It's awesome what you're doing, so keep it up.
Thanks Khan. Nice to see you.
Thanks. We've got some breaking news, and this is just courtesy of our friend Michelle. Michelle brings this news to us tonight. New headline, Herald website: 3 people, including a baby, test positive to COVID-19 at Middlemore. Now, we're going to bring our fact checker in. Hopefully, he is ready to roll. Benny. Yeah.
Okay.
Good evening. What have you got for us?
Good evening. We have actually just got this information in hot off the servers. We're using supercomputers now, and we've run an artificial intelligence algorithm over our fact checking, and of course we're also doing peer reviewing. And I'd just like to make a real quick sales pitch, if I may. We're willing to sell the rights of the truth to the highest bidder, and we're also blindly willing to believe state-sponsored media, and we're happy to comply. And please take my money now. Everybody get out, get the jab. It's free, and it'll be all well and good.
Right, okay. The same time I was there, says Adam, but I haven't been contacted yet. Oh my God. So
what does that mean?
This is the headline on the Herald website: 3 people, including a baby, test positive COVID-19 at Middlemore Hospital. Same time, Adam, his wife, they've just brought a new life into the world. He was there. Adam, if you're able to jump on the stream, mate, we'd like to have a little bit of a chat to you. That'll be fantastic. Thank you very much, Mr. Fact Checker. I really appreciate your time on that one. Some very good work. Do keep going on that story. I want to know what's happening at Middlemore. Thank you. Just waiting for Adam to join us on the stream. What did you think about that, Luke? Our chat with Carl Hall.
It's actually going to, this COVID passport is actually going to go shortly, because before we travel, people are talking about it in bars at the moment. People are talking about it at schools at the moment. People are talking about it in corporations at the moment. One of the corporations I was talking to last week said, I asked them, I said, it's a big one, employs probably over 2,000 people. And already they're thinking, well, geez, if you haven't got the vaccine, you're putting my staff at risk. We might ask you to go.
Yeah, it's a pretty hot topic. I'd go as far as calling it a spicy topic.
Oh, you're calling it spicy? Now, I did see Adam pop up on the screen, but now he's gone. Adam, if you'd like to connect, you were there. I was just going to get to you. So Adam was at Middlemore at the same time that this is all going down. So he's going to be going through a test. How's he feeling tonight? And he's still got family in there. So that now is a major location of interest. Spooky,
and hasn't been contacted yet.
Yeah. Crazy, eh?
I mean, it's all on the phone, isn't it? Isn't it like, here you go, that's what we got it on. Push the button, bang, bang, bang. Is that
it? Saying if we did have a vaccination passport, it wouldn't work.
Yeah. Someone pick up the fucking phone. $9:37. Hey. Adam joins us. Welcome, Adam. How are you, mate?
Good. How are you?
Very good.
Very well.
Now, you can pop up your voice a little with that'll just give us some more level on the mic if you can, mate. That'd be perfect. Walk us through it. So when were you there? Do you know all the details?
Hold on, I might just, was that better with
That's
the mic closer?
Much better.
Yeah, perfect.
So Gemma had the baby on the 7th, so it was midnight on the 7th. So she would have been in that ward, in the birthing ward on the 8th, right, for 2 days, and now transferred to Pookie, so you would assume that they're going to contact us?
Yeah.
Right.
And nothing's been said.
How strange. Did you scan in?
Yes, yep, 100% scanned in and followed all the protocol. But
have you got the Bluetooth tracing on?
Yep. Bluetooth's always on, so you've got to make yourself wonder how accurate it actually is.
So, and was there anyone coughing around the place that looked like, sometimes you can walk past a ward and go, holy shit, that guy's got COVID. Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah. No. And it was quiet. Not many people about the place, and the nurses doing their things. But it wasn't like you felt like you're in a hospital where everyone was hacking away, and you didn't see any of that. So no. But
was it quite quiet on the birth ward, or was it heaving?
Oh, there's people coming and going, and of course you can always hear babies making noises and what have you. But
probably more arrivals than going, really, isn't he?
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah.
A personal question: did you hear anyone having it off in the wards?
No, that was Auckland Hospital, Thane. And Middlemore is much more,
much more refined.
Yeah, much more refined.
Adam, how are you going to sleep tonight? Are you quite anxious about this?
Well, no, I don't think so. You just got to wait it out, don't you? And see what they say.
Have you got a
Yeah, fair
temperature?
enough.
No,
Cough?
don't think so. No, and
Sometimes
they're pretty strict because I went to Bookie today to drop some stuff off. You're not even allowed to take food in there. So I had those coffees, for
Yeah.
Gemma and a bar of chocolate and some fruit and bits and pieces. And they said nothing from outside.
Wow.
So clothing only, and I didn't even get to see her. So they're pretty strict on who's coming and going.
Wow.
Because if
And I'll
that
tell you
goes
what,
off,
when you've had a baby, you need snacks.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, and coffee.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
did you have to wear a mask while you were on there? Some Jody says.
Well, they didn't let me in today, so
Right, okay.
you naturally had to wear a mask when I was in at Middlemore,
Yeah.
in the birthing unit. But as soon as I transferred Gemma out of the birthing unit up to the ward, I had to leave. So that was it. You wash your hands, check out, and see you later. And it was 2:00 in the morning. So,
Oh.
but the rest of them, all the nurses had masks on, and the feedback from Gemma was that. We know that they're busy and that the staff are stretched and they're working long hours, but they're actually finding it better now with no public in there. They can actually concentrate and get the job done, and there's much more time to spend with the ladies that have just had babies. So
that's good.
It's positive from them, yeah.
Yeah, because there are some nurses that are amazing.
Yeah, isn't it spooky that Gemma is at ground zero?
Well, it was, yeah, and now
Yeah.
at Pukekohe, which is probably
Thank
a
goodness.
bit smaller.
And how is your new arrival there, Adam? How is she? Oh, he or she?
He. Yeah, he's good. I mean, he was born at 35 weeks, so a bit early. Wasn't mucking around, so we're just waiting for the feeding tube to come out. So he's been topped up through a nasal feeding tube at the moment, and all things going to plan as they are. He should be out by Wednesday, so. Yeah,
Oh,
be able to
awesome.
home. So yeah.
Just remind me, I've had 3 children, but is it 42 or 38 weeks?
It's 40.
It's 40 weeks.
Yeah, 40 weeks. But she was booked for a C-section, and of course that's 39. But when they come of their own accord, you can't control that. So
No, we had the same with our third, and it was early. She, Valentina, was early. By what was she? She was, I think, 36 weeks, but she wasn't breathing. So she wasn't breathing, and it was emergency C-section. And we basically went, "You've got a baby girl," straight, because she wasn't breathing. Little oxygen thing. And the first time I saw her was when she was in an incubator, all hooked up on tubes, and they just said, "Do you want to take a photo with her?" And I was like, "What?"
Yeah.
And I was just like crying and wheeled, like, of course you can't feel your legs or anything, you're not moving. So they wheeled my bed next to her incubator, and I put my finger in the little thing, and they took a photo, and my face was like, and it was just me and this tiny little baby. It was so sad, and they're so small at that age. It's like the little.
And the cables and the tubes are the weird ones too. You think, "Oh, there's my cute little baby girl," but she's covered, and there's a big helmet on, and you name it.
It's all the noises, right, and all the machines going and beeping, and all the warning
and
signs.
Googling. We called her Bubbles for a while because her little oxygen thing, when you could hear that she was starting to try and breathe for herself, the bubbles would start bubbling.
Yeah. And we've so that being the third, I mean, we've had a natural birth. Ella was a natural birth at the beginning, and then Poppy was a C-section. That's the middle, second daughter. And then we had a stillborn at 29 weeks, and that is by far like the worst thing I've ever been through in my life. It's something that I don't wish upon anyone.
No.
And that was, we always wanted 3 kids, and Evelyn was supposed to be our last. But,
oh my God, what a beautiful name.
COVID came along, and I didn't go and get a vasectomy, and then what do you know? Hey, we've got Roman now, so it's pretty cool, and a boy. So yeah.
Miracle.
I'm so glad that you do. That's so sad. I'm so
It is,
sorry.
yeah. I mean, like you say, when you're in that the heat of the moment there, and you have you're waiting for a baby to be born, and it makes absolutely no noise. It's just
Oh my God.
it's
Yeah.
something you can't even fathom. And then I was left with Evelyn, and basically Gemma had her placenta had split away and was ruptured, and there was a lot of bleeding internally, and she almost died on the in the bed. They had to tilt the bed so her head was right at the bottom, and I'm holding a stillborn baby, and I'm just like, what what was happening in the world, man? It was yeah. I don't terrible.
Hey, Adam, with Roman born, is the sadness, faded a little on the stillborn? Having a new baby here.
We've got a plaque and a memorial in Evelyn Rose outside the kitchen window, which is cool. And actually, for the first time, it was 2019 when we had Evelyn, and she was in June. And I've just changed my screen photo on my phone to Romans, and it was pretty hard, to be fair. Yeah. But it is fading slowly. I don't want it to fade because she's always be with us. But it's something. It's one of those things I think we don't talk about enough, really.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so glad that you had your third. That's so lovely, just to get that third baby that you wanted, and it's very sweet. I'm so glad he's okay.
Yeah, you just got to trust that that things are going the right way, don't you? And it was a blessing, to be fair. Yeah,
absolutely.
And where were you on 9/11, the morning of 9/11?
I was probably much like Sophia. I think I was getting ready to go to college myself, and I was probably I think it was about 7:30. I remember standing in the kitchen, turning the TV on, and just thinking, wow, this is out of control. And I don't even think I had breakfast. I jumped on my bike to go and catch up with the guys I always ride to school with, and it was something that, like I said earlier, it just seems like it was yesterday, doesn't it? 20 years has flown by. It's a real easy way of showing your age. 20 years at the click of a finger.
Absolutely. Hey guys, can you everybody hold there? Luke, can you hold there for a second? 9:47. You're with Talkback with Thane Sophia. Right, now let's cross to our fact checker. Benny Boy, welcome back to the show. You've got some breaking facts for us. Let us know.
Yeah, it's a fact that was very troubling part of the show. I'm just trying to figure out how to deal with it. Personally, I've also had a very traumatic experience at a public hospital in Mexico City. I went to get a butt tug and a gut pin, but I left with a custom mangina and a pair of Pert C cups.
All right, that's a fact?
And that's a fact, Jack.
Well, controversial. He's a fact man. There he goes. Thank you very much for joining us, everybody. Anyone who makes it on screen, of course, goes in the draw for Luv-A-Pies. Now, we've been having Luv-A-Pies for lunch most of the week. Put it on 180 for 20 minutes, and you're going to have some of the best steak and cheese, and mince and cheese, chicken, bacon, and egg. What a story from Adam, though, eh? Wow.
I really love to hear people sharing these stories. I think that was so brave and also so loving and sweet. And, it's such a hard thing to go through. And I'm just glad that they've got their little Roman.
Yeah, we're so happy for you, Adam. Man.
Yeah. No, well, I can't wait to get him home, to be fair. Yeah.
It's
definitely a tough time. And I've had friends messaging me tonight that they're in the same situation. And you feel for the people that have, got to have funerals and you can't do any of that stuff as a family. But having a child born and getting the boot an hour later has definitely been pretty tough.
Yeah. Absolutely. And have you got help with the other two little turkeys?
Yeah, well, that's another thing. So mum lives in Whangarei, so she came back through the border on the night, I believe, that Northland came out of their level 4. So she had a letter from the midwife down here, and the people on the border didn't even didn't even look at it. Right, so she came down. She was like, I don't know how I'm going to get on, because there was an article in the news earlier, and a couple of days prior, to say that even for childcare they were turning people away. So I thought, oh my god, this is going to be a debacle, because it was 11 o'clock at night. I got the neighbour over to into our bubble and sit in the lounge while Mum came down. But the lady on the border, she didn't even. Mum had the letter. She didn't even look at it. She didn't check anything. She just was
let her
like,
through.
Okay. Yep. See you later. So it makes you wonder. I don't think you would need to go inside a main freight truck or a post truck or anything like
Just
that.
get in your car.
Microlight. Just get in your car and shoot on through.
Yeah.
Oh,
and also, if you play the whole, I've got it in my phone, flick, flick, flick. Just hold there for a second, mate. I've got some idea if you want to see it, and then beep, beep. Oh, look, it's here somewhere. Trust me, my employer is X, Y. All right, mate, go through. Just get out of here. You know your trouble. I think that'll work.
And Mum was in the police for 47 years. She actually worked with Luke's, was it Uncle Graham? That's
my gosh!
If he was related to Graham Dallow, so
the
assistant police commissioner there. So Mum knows him, and of course Gemma said, oh, your mum can just make a call to the police or something, I thought it doesn't need to come to that. She'll just get on through. So that was it. Yeah,
awesome.
Done and dusted. Yeah.
Sam, Mass, Martin, can we get a hell yeah for Adam's audio headset?
Hell
Congratulations.
yeah, we can.
These are my HyperX Cloud 2s for gaming, and so no one else has to listen to the conversation.
Fantastic. I mean, it's part, captain of an airline, a part McDonald's drive-through guy. Very much gaming, it's got
both important roles.
Can I take your order? I was happy to see that David had McDonald's. I was a part jealous last night when I saw him eating and crunching on those M&Ms and that McFlurry. I was like,
oh yeah.
And
I mean, McFlurry's a
Whangārei. But yeah.
I wonder.
I'd take a McFlurry.
Same here. I'm McDonald's, KFC. Any day. I don't care which right now.
KFC. What about you, Adam?
Okay, so then what's your thoughts on the IHC Kira taking that person out on a road trip yesterday and stopping in at Huntley KFC for a feed of chicken?
Okay.
An IHC Kira.
Let's go back to this. What's an IHC?
An intellectually handicapped Kira, right? So someone who looks after a disabled person takes their patient, as you will, for a cruise out of Auckland, down the line, and they stop on their way back at Huntley for a bucket of KFC.
Shit.
Oh boy. That's a no-no.
Yeah.
That's a no-no, big time.
There's all sorts of people bending the rules as they please, I think.
Yeah.
Luke just messaged me and said, not allowed to call them disabled anymore.
Oh, sorry, Luke.
No, that's crippled,
I think you said handicapped.
Well, I'm sorry. I don't.
I think. Did you? I think that's.
So disabled, correct?
IHC is so you
disabled's
have
correct.
Yeah, and
maybe
you were trying to buy one of those disabled passes the other night for what, $1,200? So
that's right. Yeah.
I don't think.
I think you're good.
Yeah.
You're okay. No. I
wonder if we can get Hot Wheels to make a comment.
Cheeky Wheels.
Cheeky Wheels. Sorry.
Yeah. And I get it, Michelle. It's not a great terminology, is it really? When I worked in Wellington, we had I can't remember the company name. Michelle might be able to help us out with the company. There's quite a big company nationwide that looks after them, and they do a fantastic job, because some of them can be pretty hard to handle. Yeah, I shouldn't even class them as them. I should.
No, we know what you mean. It's okay. No one's gonna come after you on that one.
We'd be sitting in reception, working away in a truck workshop, and then some of them they would bolt inside and come in and give you the high fives and cuddles, and it was cool. But they certainly have a hard task ahead of them.
Yeah, it must be difficult and frustrating to not be able to communicate and know that you are communicating clearly. Like, it must be very frustrating both ways.
Yeah.
Trying to get Michelle on the phone.
Oh, she's busy listening to us.
Okay, she's not answering.
Maybe Luke can tell us on the messenger what we on the messages there.
Oh, g'day, Michelle.
Yes.
Here we go,
Cheeky
Michelle. How are
wheel.
you?
Who's that?
It's Thane here from the show.
Oh, hang on a minute. You rang me on my landline, darling. And I had to go out of the room.
Oh, shit.
And
Oh,
just give me a second, and I'll go back in again.
okay. Roll
Okay.
in
Roll
to
back
the
in.
next room. Yeah, that's it.
Hope she's in the power chair so she can boost up and get right up in front of the screen. If you missed it and you've just joined us, Michelle has got a wheelchair and it's got a power thing so she can kind of push
Sorry,
her.
buddy, I'm here now.
Fantastic, Michelle.
You're
We
up.
got you one way or the other.
You did.
Walk us through that machine that is substituting for your legs. Michelle, answer the question, please.
Oh, we've got an inception going on here.
You have to turn your speakers down at home. This is real Talkback, classic.
Hang on a second. Oh, yes, and I will. Shut up.
Okay,
Oh, God.
it's classic.
Take your
Talkback, isn't it?
time, Michelle. It's fine.
Oh, shit.
What are you doing down there?
It's like a rerun of Wednesday night.
So, Michelle, you're listening to me on the phone. You're not listening to the speakers. So turn them down if you can.
Can I look at you on the? Can I just put the phone down
Yes.
and then look at the screen?
No. Just have a conversation with me on the phone.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. No.
Righty.
You can she do that? Because then she
Don't confuse
doesn't.
it, Sophia. Don't confuse it. Let's just bust out an interview before it gets boring.
Oh, hang on.
Okay?
I know what I'll do.
Luke Dallow says I'm wrong. Sorry.
There you go. I've muted the room.
Thank you very much. Michelle, you've got no legs. You use a wheelchair. Walk me through that.
Well, I've got one.
Roll
I
us
was
through
born
it.
with a disability,
Yes.
but as I say to people, in my mind, I don't have a disability. The disability is those people who think that I can't do things. But I was born with spina bifida, and I had my left leg amputated in 2006. And as I tell people cheekily, I am 4'0" on one side and 4'5" on the other.
No matter which way you look at it, you're short.
Yes, boss.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, Michelle, do people often look at you as mentally ill because that you're in a wheelchair? They think do people talk louder to you because they think you're deaf? Because one disability leads people assume that you got everything.
Well, for example, I was in a fashion store about 10 years ago, Glasson's, and there was one person in front of me. Then it was my turn to get served. They asked the person behind me, "What does she like?"
Oh God!
Oh
How
my
embarrassing!
God, that's
And,
terrible.
I was embarrassed.
Yeah,
I opened my mouth.
yeah, you're irate. And Michelle, tell me, what do you do socially? For me, I'm just thinking out loud. It wouldn't bother me if I didn't have any legs. I like sitting down anyway, but I can't imagine an endless sit down. What do you do for fun? Can you play darts? Obviously, cards are on the table. Karaoke. What do you do?
I'm mainly a Facebooker,
Right.
and I also do karaoke.
Okay. What's your
Two
go-to
good things.
song?
Yeah.
Oh, mainly men's songs like Engelbert, Elvis, Tom Jones. I've got a bit of a country voice as well.
Can you give us a little
Give us a-
demo?
No.
Okay, fair enough. Now, also, just the saucy question of the night, Michelle. We brought it up the other night, and I've got to put it to you. Being at penis height, just where the genitals are, how does that affect you in your day-to-day life? Does it kind of
Oh my
gives
God.
you tingles or what?
I'm sorry, Michelle. I apologize for him.
Oh my God.
He's
Don't
got to ask the
answer
hard
it.
question.
I'm not going to answer.
Well, I'll give you an example, okay?
Okay.
Sophia, can you hear me?
I can hear
Yes.
you.
Oh, Christ. Okay. One day I was at the RSA in Point Sheriff, and I was waiting in line for to put my song up on the board that I wanted to sing, and there was a guy in front of me wiggling his bum as he was writing on the board.
Oh boy!
And I said to him, "Please don't do that."
Yeah, right. Did you like what you saw, Michelle?
I doubt it.
Okay, fair enough.
No.
All right, no worries.
No, it was, yeah.
Well, it was nice talking to you. I'd love to get your computers working so we can see you next time. Michelle,
okay.
Thank you very much for joining us.
Oh, you're welcome. Thanks, Thane. Bye, Sophia.
Bye, Michelle.
Yeah, mate. Bye-bye. Wasn't she a good sport?
She's
need to
great.
get Benny around there to sort out the IT issues.
Absolutely.
Yeah, totally. We definitely
level 3. Level 3. Oh no, level 2. Sorry.
All right, mate. It's just gone 10 o'clock. Thank you very much, Adam, for joining the show, mate. We'll say goodbye to you here.
Yeah, and I'll be back on when the pies arrive. We'll do a live unwrap
of
the Luv-A-Pies, and we'll get some cooked up, and then we'll do a tasting.
Absolutely. Don't forget to put them at 180 because Thane's putting them at 140.
And is it on fan bake, or is it, what's
fan bake? The elements top and bottom. Yeah.
Yes, definitely both elements. Don't grill it.
Yep, sounds good. All right, well, I'm
au revoir,
to
mate. Thank you very much.
For the show. Yep, thanks, guys.
All right.
Bye-bye. It is live talkback, everyone. Anyone can jump on and you can steer the ship. Anyone who comments tonight, you make it on screen, goes in the draw for a 12-pack of Luv-A-Pies. That was just a former winner. His name's Adam Corbett. And what an incredible call tonight. Blair Huston, Penis Height, Champagne Radio. Thank you very much. We're here Monday to Saturday, everybody. And Steve McGuinness, I love pies. Of course you do. Right, I suppose we've got our fact checker to get to. Back, Benny boy, what did you make of that conversation? Any facts you could pull out that needed checking?
You know what? It all seemed very genuine. From what I could hear, we actually had a voice analyst running the voice through a script generator. It just says very genuine stories, very truthful. We weren't picking up any deceptions. We ran it also through a personality test.
Yes.
That all came out clear. We even went as far as even trying to sign her up to Scientology, and we tried to do a Dianetics test, strapped her up on the cans, wired her for she went clear.
She's legit.
It's all looking
healthy
good.
As a horse.
Absolutely, as healthy as a horse, and some may say that groin height is the perfect height.
Yes,
those are the facts.
Those are facts.
What's Luke doing? Oh, here he is. Good.
I was wrong, Leslie. I actually got disabled mixed up with another word. And
what was another word?
Handicapped. You can't say handicap these days. I mean, I've just brought up the words that you can't say anymore. So a mobility, physical disability, you can't used to say, oh, you're a handicapped person. You can't say that anymore. You've got to say physically disabled person with mobility or physical disability. And also remember the old deaf of, the deaf people used to say they're deaf and dumb. Can't say that anymore, which is pretty horrible to say you're deaf and dumb because there's a lot of very intelligent people who are very.
I got to say, Lukey, the worst I've ever heard is "fucked unit," and I was like, "You said what? Take that back. That's disgusting.
That is just wrong." So those obviously it's just the hard of hearing, but those are terrible words you used to use in the 80s and the the 70s and so forth, weren't they? But
we haven't even got on to race yet. Holy moly!
Well,
let's
just not. I mean, there was that. Oh yeah. I'm like being called a honky. Oh
yeah. I'll give you another one that rolls off the tongue, straight out of the 70s. Here it is. Coconut. That's not a good either. We should be ashamed about that.
Totally. We should be totally. What about Ginga?
Oh, yeah. Just bloody awful. And we shouldn't be laughing, Sophia.
I'm not laughing.
No, don't
Okay.
be.
I'm
No.
just laughing at. I'm laughing at Luke.
Oi.
Yeah.
Hey, when was the last time you saw an albino? Are they allowed to call them albinos still?
Oh God, can we
I
have a
love how you
check on
ask
that?
it like we're
Yeah.
out in the wild here. Fantapies.
Yeah.
And also, mate,
What was it? Morange.
Ranger.
I can't deal with this. Someone's gonna be like, Sophia's a bitch.
Eskimos. I mean, what's Eskimos mean? Is that like a? I mean, I quite like that word Eskimos. It's like that word sachet. I like that word sachet.
Sachet, yeah, you're a big fan.
Oh, I thought about that. Okay, after we spoke, when was that? We spoke and we were talking about favorite words, and Luke's is sachet, and it came out very fantastic and luxurious. And I came up with flannel because I was on the spot and I got anxiety. But then I said to Thane after, I was like, oh, sumptuous.
Oh, say that again.
Sumptuous.
Wow, that's a good. And Luke, your word one more time.
Moist.
Oh,
you can't change your word.
You were sachet. Hang on. Do it again. One more time. Sachet. Yeah.
Yes.
And mine was.
You gotta have the word.
Papaya. Papaya. Oh my God. Has Benny got a word? I wonder, Ben, have you got a favorite word you could blast us with? What do you got?
Yes, I do. It is fredazzle.
Fredazzle. That's a good one.
Is that in the dictionary?
It is in the dictionary. And the only time I say sachet is when I'm in the drive-thru and I say, hey, I want 3 of those ketchup sachets.
Fantastic.
Sachet.
Thank you, Benny.
Hey,
just going back to our comments here. Eskimo pie is not an Eskimo, not a pie. You know what? Steve could be the pie guy. Everything he talks about is pies. It's brilliant. And another texter here from Michelle. Can I get into the room on camera, please? I would like to show you something. Yes, Michelle,
absolutely.
Just click on that link. Click on the link, Michelle.
Hates the word moist. It's a weird word. It's a weird word.
It is a funny word. Maybe it should be taken out of the dictionary.
We don't need it.
No.
What do you use it for? You could just, it reminds me of mildew.
Exactly. You're not going to say it's a moist day, is it?
No. Oh, I'm moist in here. You know, it's like, no,
I'm
it's
feeling
not needed.
Or it could be like, how's your girlfriend's Mick? Moist.
What? Man, what the
That's
fuck?
the only way that you could actually use that word. Let's be honest. You know, that's the context you use.
You don't like text someone and go, I'm so moist. They'd be like, like, it's not hot.
It is not right, is it?
It's not
Not
hot.
right.
Have I turned you on type thing, you know?
Yeah, that's really not hot, though. No one should say that. Thane, any word from... Yeah, but he gets a little bit testy when we have him on because he talks about papaya and it being a solution for COVID. And then when we said to him, you can't say anything about papaya anymore, he got really angry. And he was messaging Thane all night. He's like, I can't believe you did that. Well, I'm not going to come on to be humiliated. Anyway.
Now, can I just say to Michelle, just quickly, that is the link that you got to click. It's in the comments in the Facebook feed of this. I think if you're on my personal Facebook, Thane Kirby, it's in the comments. Click on that link, love, and then come and join the show. Oh, Michelle's just joined out. Now, just be aware, everybody. This could go to fucking hell because she's terrible technically. You already hear the squeak in the background, but let's go there, Michelle. Squeak in the background, but let's go there, Michelle. Just as I thought.
Oh, yeah. Hang on.
Michelle.
What's that?
Let's go there, Michelle. Just as I thought.
Oh, is that like a...
Yeah.
Floor?
It's my head there.
What's that?
Yep. Yeah, we see it. Yep.
Oh, is that like a...
Are you trying to pull your camera down, Michelle?
Is
It's like I'm gonna grab a penis with it. Penis with it.
Are you trying to pull your camera down, Michelle?
No.
Okay. What are you doing with that bloody thing? And it's John's, not yours.
Anyway,
join.
Hello.
G'day, mate. Now, all you got to do is, can you kill your Facebook feed? Can you do us that favour? Kill the Facebook feed. Fuck, I knew this was going to happen. Michelle.
Did that work?
She's a handful. She's a hot mess, Michelle.
You've muted her.
I have, because she's annoying.
She's not annoying. Did that work?
She's a handful. She's a hot mess, Michelle.
You've muted her.
I have, because she's annoying.
She's not annoying.
No, you're not annoying, Michelle. It's just that you can't work the technology.
We're in this together.
No, you're not annoying, Michelle. It's just that you can't work the technology.
Maybe this is good for Thane. Maybe now, Thane, you can hear yourself and the things that you are saying. Maybe
Michelle's texting us. Michelle is a voice nest.
You can hear yourself and the things that you are.
Michelle, turn the Facebook stuff off. For crying out loud.
Can you hear me?
Michelle, we can hear you, but we can also hear ourselves from 2 seconds ago, and it's annoying.
Do you feel shame for the things you say when you hear them back to you, though?
I'll be honest with you for a second. We'll come back to you, Michelle. I have never heard myself back like that. So, yeah.
Confronting.
My camera's a bit weird too. I'm on a delay because I've got so many people on the line. So let's try and get rid of Michelle, and then we'll come back.
Bye-bye.
My camera's a bit weird too. Michelle, have you sorted it out? So many people on the line. So let's try and get rid of Michelle, and then we'll come back.
We can see your hand, Michelle. We can see you. It gave me a fright. She's communicating.
Hey, Thane.
Yeah. So let's try and get rid of Michelle, and then we'll come
We
back.
can see your hand, Michelle. We can see you.
Right, let's cut off our first caller. She's gone. You got to go, Michelle. Sorry. I'm going to boot her, kick her from the studio. Plus, I need to actually free up some bandwidth because it's not going well on my end. Man, okay. Who are we bringing in next?
Who's coming on?
Okay,
Who have we got here?
Have we got any other callers? Please let us know. Let's go back to Luke Dallow now. Luke, welcome back to the show.
What's up with that camera, Michelle's camera? I don't want to go on about Michelle because she seems like a lovely woman. But what is up with that
Michelle's in a wheelchair, right?
Yes.
So her computer's on the desk.
Yes.
And therefore the camera can't see her.
Right.
And she's not in her a power chair, so she can't boost up. So she's trying to pull it down with that.
Oh, I see. She's rolling around the ground trying to pull the camera down so we can see her type thing.
Oh, I don't think she's rolling around on the ground. I think she might be in a manual chair.
Oh, I see. I see, Sophia. I see. Anyway, let's not talk about that too much, eh? Hey, I did some baking today.
Tell me all about it. I want to know.
So when the lockdown hit, I make this like sourdough starter, with my 50 grams of flour or 50 grams of water. And it takes 10 days to get the starter going. And I did send Thane a picture on his Facebook of my sourdough loaf. And it was beautiful, actually. But the thing about sourdough is you've got to work it. And also I'll give the listeners 2 tips about sourdough, is that one is time. And the second tip is you put it in the hot water cupboard just to let it prove a bit.
Yes.
And then after that, you put it straight in the fridge. And in the morning, you let it warm up and you chuck it in a good oven. Boom. So hopefully Thane can pick up a picture of my sourdough there. And no, it's fantastic tasting as well. So there you go. There's my little sourdough. Hey, Blair.
We should have a bake-off. If we get another week at level 4, guys, we're gonna have a bake-off. If you go to my Instagram and you go to my story, my Instagram's just there. You'll see what baking I did today.
Oh, fantastic. What did you tell us?
Okay, well, I did some seed crackers. Hi, Blair.
Oh.
I did some
Sophia.
carrot cupcakes with
Mm.
cream cheese icing, and I did a carrot loaf.
So how'd you do your seed crackers? Did you do your seeds, crush them, and how'd you form them?
Yep, with the with a bunch of ingredients and like nuts and stuff in it as well, and then you put some water in it. Okay, that one was a packet mix. I'll be completely honest with you, but it was a keto mix that I got from Sport Fuel, and it had been sitting in the cupboard for about 8 months, and I thought, I'm going to use this up. I'm going to get rid of it. So you put like 2 cups of water in it. You let it do its thing and activate the seeds. Throw it down. Put some baking paper. Roll it out, and then it goes in the oven for an hour. They're great.
Yeah, wow. Thank God for that's over. Guys, let's not talk about baking. I don't find baking interesting, but the carrot cake was delicious. So thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Lee, welcome to the show, mate. How are you?
Hey, nice to be here, Thane. I like the do, mate. I like the do. Is that, that's a new thing, isn't it? Is that a lockdown kind of a thing?
No, it's not a lockdown thing. I kind of just said the tide was going out on my hair.
Yeah.
And it was like pushing seaweed over a rock there for a while, you know, I was just trying to push it around, and it was awful. And so I'm going to get rid of it.
Maybe 4 or 5 years ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Maybe 2-3 years ago. Yeah.
I had the first night of lockdown. My lady, we got a bit sideways first night, as I think a lot of people did, and. She said, I'm going to shave your head. And I put up a bit of a fight for about, probably 4 or 5 minutes. And next thing you know, number one. And then I was in the shower, and she brought me back to the wood.
There you go.
Woke up the next morning with a heinous hangover. And it was quite a shock. So 2 weeks, and I'm 3 weeks, and I'm.
But once it settles and you're marinated in the no hair, it's actually not a bad scenario. You know what I mean? It actually looks quite good. You look nifty.
Do you feel naked? I mean, I've got lots of locks. Do you feel naked having no hair though?
It was quite a shock. I mean, I'm pretty thinning, but I'm normally just like a number 2. Luke, you've always had good head of hair, and you look at you.
Yeah, I know.
Mate, I haven't seen you in the flesh for a while. Last time I saw you, I think, was at Eden Park in the corporate box.
Oh, it was, Blair, I think it was. I probably had a few jars under my belt, and I don't actually remember that night either.
Well,
God.
Look at the smart glasses, though, Blair. Look, he's got those kind of see-through glasses now. Look like he's running Rocket Lab or something.
He looks like a cross between sort of Joe 90 and the lawyer off what's his name? I just watched Narcos. There was the lawyer, and he was in another character. He was the janitor on Jerry Seinfeld.
Oh yeah. Okay.
That guy.
Yeah.
Hey, so Blair, you can get us across the border, can't you? Because you fly airplanes.
Mate, I do. I've got my own little plane, and I can, and I'm really missing it, to be honest with you. I got to say. But speaking of baking, I did my last lockdown by myself, the whole thing, just me and Baz the dog.
Wow.
And this time I've got my lady friend here with a 7-year-old and a 9-year-old.
Wow.
And, that is a very interesting experience as well. That's out of the frying pan into the fire.
That's right. How are you finding that?
Mostly very good. I'm really enjoying
That's
it.
good.
Good boys. Yeah.
Good ages as well.
But 7 to 9, everybody's very hungry. All the time.
That's true.
And they really, really, really spend a lot of time online, don't they? And they really like that. How are the girls, Thane and Sophia?
Yeah.
They're good. They're really good. They're such great kids. And I know that's, most people are like, oh, and they like make jokes about their children, but they're such nice people.
Do they still hold it against you, Thane, about the trip to Disneyland? Was that mentioned?
They're old enough. They're old enough now. They know they've been duped. They've been to Rainbow's End a couple of times, but I've taken them. We took them to Warner Brothers in Singapore or something. I can't remember.
So we did. We took them to Warner Brothers studio.
Yeah, but they still haven't gone to Disneyland, but they will get to Disneyland. once I can't control the borders, guys. It's out of my hands. I'd go tomorrow if I could.
Like your dad controls a lot of stuff. He's a very influential man. The borders,
Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
for people that don't know, Thane and Blair, you were a part of that, weren't you, Blair?
Yeah, I was the pilot, but I just got talked into it.
You got dragged along for the ride where Thane flew our two oldest children to Rainbow's End and told them it was Disneyland for a birthday.
Got the flight out to Ardmore, which they thought was Auckland International. Jumped in my plane. We flew around Auckland for half an hour. Landed back at Ardmore, but just a different part of the airport. Thane told them it was at LA, and they went.
That's it.
Seriously, why did I agree to do that?
My God, I was pissed. I was like, I can't believe you did that. Anyway.
And then the drive home the drive home was funny because we're leaving Disneyland, and all the staff are behind it and they're waving, and and we've got some kind of fairy princess following us around. We get back in the limousine and then we're driving back to New Zealand, guys. So just buckle up. It won't take long. Are we driving back to New Zealand, Dad? We absolutely are, girls. How was your day? And then, but also what I used to do is one of my favorite things to do was to trick them that I've written songs. So I'll go, I'll just recount like More Than Words by Extreme and just bust it out to them on the microphone. They're going, you are absolutely incredible at singing.
You're a god. You're a god, Dad.
God.
You're amazing.
So it was very funny.
Sam Martin, I see a question. I'm going to take over the show, thank you.
Yeah.
Sam Martin's come up with a question. Does the love-making decline with a 7-9-year-old present?
Right.
How many people are watching this? I'm not going to answer that. You two can answer it. I'm going to go and fill up my vessel. Be back in a minute.
All right.
Come back, everybody. Let's now, while we've got a little bit of a break, I think I must go check. 1021 fact checker Benny Boy. What's going on, mate?
Okay, well, look, we've just got information come through. The latest information are the facts of life. Okay, so these are your 6 facts of life: sunlight, rest, exercise, diet, self-confidence, and friends.
Wow, awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks for checking in there, mate.
I've got another wee anecdote about a time that my dad actually pranked me. I guess you could call it a prank. He said we were going to go pet shopping and I could pick out a goldfish. Turns out we were going to the hospital for an elective surgery to have my nubbin cut off.
Oh my God.
A little tail. Just a tail, man. I can't have them.
Our show fact checker, Benny Boy, just sits there in his mahogany little library there and just checks facts as they come up. Now we've got, well, it's nice to have Blair on the show tonight, isn't it?
It is nice to have Blair on the show.
Yeah. Maybe we'll give Blair one of our $25 vouchers to Midnight Gardener, Blair.
Midnight Gardener.
Midnight Gardener, yeah.
Fantastic. I'll be right into that. I had an incident. We were just talking about it just before, actually, about a medical issue I had late last year, and the only thing that gave me relief was I don't smoke a bit of the old, but I had really bad attack of shingles.
Wow.
Across my forehead into my eye with a condition called neuralgia, which is nerve damage, extreme pain, and the only thing that made it better was a bit of the old
wacky backy.
The old button. I'll tell you what was the only thing that worked. Anyway, I'm going to get off that subject. I want to talk to you guys. Where are you going to travel to next, guys? When the borders open? Sophia.
You know what?
What are you dreaming of, girl?
That's a good question. It's hard. It's a toss-up between somewhere in Asia or the States. Are we talking imaginary, or are we talking?
Well, it's in your what are you dreaming of? Like dream, which may or may not happen, but what realistically do you think might do it for you?
Okay, dream-wise, I think I'd probably go to Europe.
Right.
Because I haven't been in a long time. And then realistically, I'll probably just go over to Sydney. See, I want to see my goddaughter for the first time.
Okay. Very, very good in Sydney.
Yeah, she's so cute.
I tell you what's bloody depressing. I found on my bloody computer today or yesterday my calendar for all the travel I had booked for 2020 and 2021.
Mm.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
I really miss it.
Yeah.
What's going on? So Blair's story too. Fortis, isn't it? Fortis Travel
That's right.
was a thing, and then COVID hit. How do you pivot out of being a travel agent and organising people's travel?
Well, mate, we have pivoted so I won't bore your listeners with all the detail, but we were selling about between $2 and $3 million of travel a month.
Wow.
Little travel business just down on College Hill, just up from New World there. And we had 30 staff, and business was amazing, really, really good. And then 6 weeks after COVID struck, we were out of the office, we were locked down, and we were down to went from 2.7 million in February to about 40,000 in April. So it's pretty bloody brutal. So we're still in business, and we will survive, and we'll be all right. But it's one step forward and 12 back at the moment with doing domestic.
Has the government made your life hell getting subsidies and propping you up, or have you got things smoothly?
I've got to say the process of the supplements of the wage subsidies and things have actually been, I think, very good. Like literally, we put in the application in the morning as soon as they come out, and we get paid quite often on that day. So I think our systems are pretty good in terms of getting it through in time. But I've got to say the process is good. But what I think we'd really like to have, a lot of business owners would like to have a finish line. Would like to know what the new world looks like.
Yep.
And I think that's bloody frustrating. Some of us are putting in literally millions of dollars into keeping our businesses going and keeping our really good staff employed and keep the fabric of our business going. And I won't bore you with all the detail, but it's millions of dollars that I've stuck into keeping what I've worked for 30 years going. But it'd be nice to know what we're actually fighting for. What's the finish line?
And I think when you don't know, it feels like I feel the same. I feel like I've got so much. I've got a business, and I have a business that is in the US with US business partners, and we've been in formulation for 2 years, and we were ready to launch a year ago, and we can't do anything because no one can go anywhere. And it's just, where is that finish line? What does it look like? What do we need to do to go, okay, cool, we can do that next thing? And when is it? Like, even if it was February, I'd like to know so I can plan for February.
Yep. Well, I've still got 9 staff, and at the moment we're literally sitting around the thumb up our ass, and $26,000 a month in rent, and all this kind of stuff. And I don't mind digging deep and putting everything I've ever worked for on the line, but am I actually just pissing it up against the wall? I mean, am I actually just wasting everything? Should I just fold and go? Anyway, what's your business in the States, Sophia? What are you doing?
So I've got a business called Customer Service, and it's with 2 other people. Janae Lombardo is one of them. So her background is she started a sub business to New York Fashion Week and then sold it to New York Fashion Week. It was sort of for upcoming designers and things off the side, like a little sprout of when they were doing the main shows. And her husband, Harvey Newton Hayden, who is a model, and we basically designed a protein booster that can be put into any food or drink, and it's got no allergens in it, and it's vegan, etc., etc. And so that's ready to launch, and we're just sort of we were hoping to launch it last year and do it over in the States, and that just fell apart. So that's what that is. So we're just waiting now. And then I've got Daily Wellness, which is a company I own on my own. That's my baby. And that's in a wellness and natural skincare. And that's New Zealand. That sells New Zealand, US, Canada, and Australia. So it's easier to do that one from online, but it's still a hard one. No one's buying stock for their retailers in the middle of a pandemic.
No.
Can I ask you a question, Blair? What is the best airline in the world? One, with all the luxuries, and two, if you push them, maybe you'll get an upgrade out of them, and three, just easy to deal with, back in the heyday.
Well, I don't know about back in the heyday. I mean, right now it's very, very hard to go past Singapore Airlines,
right,
and Emirates. They're my two favourite. We'd obviously do a lot of business with Air New Zealand, and their product is very consistent and solid, and they win a lot of awards and what have you. And I guess they're, but in terms of if you want to go somewhere nice, when Sophia's off to Europe, she should sit in the business class cabin of an Emirates A380 or a Singapore Airlines A350. Beautiful. And first class would be nicer, but to be honest with you, it's double the money, and it's probably only about 10% better.
What is it? What one flies in Emirates to Bali? Because that's the one I've taken. Their business.
They don't now, obviously, for obvious reasons.
Well, no, not now.
But yes, they did. They ran a 777 up to Bali, which
they were not badly priced for business. Sometimes you get a really good deal.
Yeah, $1,500 business class return to Bali. It was bloody awesome.
Yeah, it was great. I flew one of the girls back with me in business, and Lola is still not very happy because now the world is not traveling, and she's not had her chance to go on business.
No, that's right. I know.
But to be honest,
you could just flew to LA on Air Blair.
That's her. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, why do people book through a VPN and book Air New Zealand overseas? Because it's too fucking shit to book it here, so it's expensive or something. Why are people doing that?
Well, there's different pricing from different markets. I mean, you're not supposed to be doing it, obviously, but we get ripped off in New Zealand with all sorts of things, don't we? If you're buying your beef or your butter or your bloody beer or your wine. Why is wine cheaper in London? New Zealand Rabbit Ranch Pinot Noir is a quarter cheaper in London. It's like $10 cheaper in London than it is here. How can that be?
That's insane, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes you have to fly Ryanair. Jeez, what's Ryanair? Where do you go to on Ryanair?
Is that in the UK?
Yeah, you go down and get fucking off your face down to Mallorca, mate, or Tenerife.
Yeah,
so, Thane, where are you gonna travel to, mate?
I think I'm going to stick to America and then jet off to like some Mexico, some kind of resort and a beach while I'm there. And I've been to New York and I love New York. I think that'll be a great place to be.
Well, New Zealand's committed. New Zealand's committed to flying to New York ASAP. I think that'll be one of the first cabs off the rank.
Awesome. How good would it be to be in New York for Christmas one year?
How amazing would it be going out? All right, we're off to this weekend. I think I might just whip over to New York for 4 or 5 days. Imagine going over to New York, going up to Auckland Airport, sitting in the corridor lounge, having a few beers, jumping on the plane, have a few more beers, go to sleep, take one little green pill, fall asleep, wake up, have a few breakfast, a couple of bubbles, and you wake up and you're off flying into JFK or something like that. Next thing you know, wouldn't that be
out of space because you're completely wasted?
Because you are so off your tits. That's right. And you wake up and someone stuck a whole bunch of marijuana in your boogie board and you're fucked.
My God. Hey, so just in Bali, you know how Michelle Corby or whatever her name, and she was in Chappelle, that's it,
Michelle Michelle Kirby.
She was He locked up in a Bali prison. Well, we know a couple of people in the prison just through friends of a friend, and this guy is a king, so he's a local over there. He doesn't. He's got a massive big house, and he's the head of a household, and he's got people underneath him that take money off the local bars just for protection, all that kind of thing. But anyways, this guy got done for murdering somebody, so they sentenced him to XYZ amount. But because he's part of the land and the furniture, he gets to go off, cross the road, go to the bakery. He gets to come back. Maybe he'll go out all day. As long as he's back by, sundown, he's good to go. So it's Bali is incredible with the way that you can manipulate things. And if you've got the right amount of cash, you can get away literally with murder. It's amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think Chappelle Corby couldn't get away with it because she was so high profile.
Yeah.
They had to, basically, she couldn't buy her way out of jack shit.
And also she's white.
That's right.
And no one really cares if you're Boule over there, which means white, and you're like, oh well.
If you're white trash, and if you're bloody talking yourself up and making huge, but he's saying they're always going to make an example out of her white ass.
Yeah. Well, that's right, and they make an international example, but also apparently they do that, and they use it as a bartering tool with government. So they'll use Chappelle Corby as a little bait and switch for stuff with the Australian government.
Oh, really?
Apparently, yeah, they do little things like that. So, and especially if the Australians put out news about their country that's unsavory, they'll retaliate. They don't like it.
Yeah, usually the local police won't go to the bars and they'll just leave them all alone. Police are like back in the day, he used to have the MOT, the Ministry of Transport. Then you got the police, and the only ones you looked out for were the Ministry of Transport because they'd give you a ticket. Police, you had to kill somebody. Yeah. So over there, they wouldn't go to bars, the cops, but they only go if they need to pull somebody out to make an example of them, put them in jail, nearly give them the death penalty, and then their parents will plead on Channel 9 News. Then the government will send them $250,000 over. If they can't get the money out of the parents, they'll get it out of the government, and then it'll all go away. Then they're released.
I feel like you made that story up. I feel like that's not.
I would say 30% of that story is embellished, but for the most, it's true.
Yeah, that's right. Hello.
I don't think so.
Hello, you're on the air.
You're on the air. I'm going to go to our fact checker guy. I'll be back in a split second here, matey.
Hey, listen, what?
All right. 10:37. Benny Mac, fact checker. What do you got?
Well, it all seems to check out as far as medicinal healing and CBD treatments goes. It's actually true. That's what it's saying here. I've actually healed myself with marijuana. I had a painful case of hemorrhoids, but I just blew a little smoke up my ass and I was as good as new. And then I went on and competed in the Kilos Ironman. I set a personal best. I lost 35 kilos and I got on the cover of Muscle and Fitness magazine. Never underestimate the benefits of a reefer cigarette.
Fantastic.
I think you mean cigar-weed.
Yeah, and just on another note, as far as international travel goes, I've never really wanted to travel overseas. No, in fact, I won a round-the-world trip, all expenses paid, trip for two, and I gave the tickets to my neighbour.
What?
Thank you very much, Beanie Boy.
Thank you. That's a fact, Jack.
Well, there you go. That's a fact, Jack. We had you say blue smoke up his ass. Yeah, brilliant. It was brilliant.
That is fantastic. He got a PB.
Absolutely. Hey, so what do you think of the show? So we're doing this Monday to Saturday from 9 o'clock every night. It's Talkback. We're reimagining Talkback.
It's very good. Are you guys in the same house?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who's
we actually got.
Is that Thane? Who's that behind you? Or is that you?
That's me.
Himself.
Wow. I see it.
That's me. Yeah.
You look like you've been.
No.
Okay.
Hey, but one thing I am not doing is wearing black.
with my mum and my stepdad, and we're all just waiting for level 3.
We're in the middle of moving back to the city.
Hey, I really like the format. It's fun. I'm always up for a good. It's like sort of a bit of a chat with mates, and other people can watch. I mean, has anyone been naked on your show yet?
Oh no, I don't think so.
Okay. Has there
But
been
you know
any
what?
What are you
people walking
thinking?
past in the state? I'm just wondering if there's been any sort of nudie rudies wandering past, kids or.
No. You know what I thought about this technology though is, what's to say, you know how you've got sex workers, strippers, and what have you. Imagine this with different cameras of them doing different dances, and the audience purchase virtual tickets to it.
Like it.
And then you know, that type of thing. I mean, that's just a business opportunity that could go.
Don't do that. We don't need that.
No,
space.
actually,
This is
it's
a
good idea at
safe
the time,
space.
but Sophia is the adult in the room here, I think.
Stacey Hart, it's
Oh
not
my
that kind of
God.
show.
Stacey,
It's
Jesus.
not that kind of show. You know what? I want to raise something. Jodie said before she doesn't have an oven, and I want to know what her address is. So I just really want to quick say, what's your address, Jodie? So I'm gonna courier you some baking.
Wow, awesome. Yep, just message us that.
Geez, old Stacey's looking good, isn't she too, eh?
Let's have another look at
She's
Stacey's
gorgeous.
profile shot. Yeah, look at that.
Jesus
You
Christ.
know, Luke has said he's off. He's got to go, and he's got some bread baking. That was ages ago. Never mind. That was at 10:24.
Hey, and back to the format. I think it's fun, you guys, and I think what we should do is get someone on, and we can like someone who's actually has actually got something, who's actually knows what they're talking about. Maybe.
What do you mean?
Maybe a musician. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
Someone. Do you know what? I don't know. Someone interesting, much more interesting than me, and we can ask them edgy questions.
Yeah, well, I was supposed to have Shay Fu on this week just to kind of like have a little bit of a chat. He won some kind of weird award, but he didn't get back to me. We had David Seymour on the show last night. He was good.
Did you?
Yeah.
I was just about to say, get David Seymour on the show.
He was on.
Already
He was on.
happened.
Great job.
Yeah.
Where were you?
I don't know. Well, I was probably sitting home drinking like I have done for the last 4 weeks.
Yeah.
How was he?
He's good. He was
He was
eating a
good.
McFlurry.
He's a funny
Yeah, he
guy.
was,
I
wasn't
like
he?
him.
Yeah. He was just sensible. You know what I mean? He just kind of like said the right things. He's got an answer for everything, but when you kind of break it down, it kind of makes sense. And he's not kind of like, hasn't got that school teacher vibe like Jacinda does, you know, with the presentation of the facts. He just kind of gives it to you and you kind of deal with it and go, yeah. So I like the guy, and we kind of had a little bit of a chat last night about David and said, you know what, maybe we should be the online show to kind of back that dude.
Hey, do you know what? Having given it now 90 seconds thought, do you know what I was doing last night? I was sending David Seymour an email.
Oh shit! Really?
How weird's that?
That's weird. He was all tied up. Sorry.
Yeah, he was media obligations.
That's right. But I'll message you over his cell phone number, and why don't you just kind of like strike up a friendship?
No, that's good. I don't want to hassle him. I was just going to offer him my services because I think he's awesome, and I think National are so screwed and so utterly impotent, and Judith Collins is a joke, and they've lost their way. They're a bunch of fucking nanas, and I've been a National voter all my life, and I freaking hate them. And David Seymour is the only guy that we can rely on now to be centre right and common sense.
And can I just say, with that whole Susie Wiles thing out with a mate, you know, on the beach and stuff, I'm not a big fan of Susie, but that's another story.
Yeah.
Judith coming out and calling her a big fat moron or whatever it was that she called her.
Such
Again,
bad taste.
didn't read the room right. That was
Not at
instantly
all.
going to blow back on her. She thought the country wanted her to be tough on her. Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
But she didn't play it right.
It's just embarrassing. Oh my God.
It's just classless. Like she had an opportunity to say, it wasn't the best decision. You know, we need to be doing X, Y, Z and supporting it. But she goes, she's a big fat, what was it? It was just like, what the hell are you talking about?
Yeah,
you called her a big fat hypocrite, and you just don't say shit like that. I mean, it's just not. You know, we're all in a world of pain here, or some of us are. You don't need to call people names and shit like that.
And also, I actually think that when you look at the facts, she didn't do anything wrong. She went for a bicycle ride. I mean, when you sit next to a person in your bubble, do you have a mask on?
Yeah.
I don't.
No.
I'm outside for a walk and I'm having a talk. What?
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right, Sophie. It's like people I see driving cars by themselves with a mask on.
And bless their hearts, though. Bless their hearts. They, you know, maybe think they're doing something lovely.
Do they? Maybe they just got bad breath.
Maybe. But wouldn't they be blowing it back on themselves?
Maybe they don't know. I worry about those people because I think they're probably the sort of people that would sort of lie in bed wearing a condom by themselves. Just in case, you know?
I love that.
You never know.
You never know. Oh, that's so good. Oh, well, hey, mate, we're going to go now. So nice talking to you. And we're on Monday, so feel free to come back on the show and, share your thoughts.
Yes, please do.
Good fun.
All right,
mate. Lovely.
Guys. And,
see you, pal.
Yeah, thanks, team. Good luck. No
worries. All the best. He's good value, isn't he? Bloody good value.
Yes, that was fun. No, you're right. Nor compulsory to wear a mask outside. Correct, Steve. And I feel like she was picked on. And I don't, what would
Shane Reddy make a good national leader?
I actually don't know enough about the National Party.
Okay, fair enough. Adam Corbett, what night is Bomber back? Bomber's working that out, and I think he's going to come back on like a Wednesday, Thursday night. So he's going to be weekly. So I'm very happy about that. Go Bombs. Sarah Gilmore, thanks, Sarah. Thanks for tuning in. Really appreciate it.
Good night. Really good. We've gone overtime tonight by quite a ways, but we will see you on Monday. See you, Michelle.
See you, Michelle. Who won the pies and who wants a quick grab at a $25 voucher to Midnight Gardener? Why don't you just message us right now? Just send anything on the things, anything. Just go blah, 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 blah. And message number 12 right now takes away the pies. And also message 13 takes away a $25 voucher to, what's his name? Midnight Gardener. So get going. These last calls. I think we've still got people. There's one. Oh, hey. Please back with high. So we need 11.
So that's 1.
2. Great job, guys. Thank you. 3.
Thanks, guys.
Here's message 4. He's back. Good. Have we got a message 5 in us? 5. Moist. Moist. We're looking for a 6. Please back with 6. That moist. Yeah, just send moist. Actually, that's great. Michelle's with a high. 7, 8, 9, 10. Who's next? Come on. 11. Stacey.
Oh, no.
And boom. Oh, Adam, you've already won. Adam, you can take away the prize for the Midnight Gardener, and Steve McGuinness gets the
pies.
Finally there, Steve.
There you go.
Fantastic. And that is a show, everybody. Back Monday from 9 o'clock. Have a great weekend. If you need a Facebook message us for anything, just jump in there and go for it. Appreciate the view. See you soon. Actually, shit, we haven't gone back to Benny Boy and said goodnight. Sorry, mate. How disrespectful. Benny Boy, one last time, checking out the facts. Let's do What's new?
Okay, yep. Now that Susie Wild's thing about going down to the beach and that sort of thing, that was completely fine. She actually, he called us up. She ran it past me. She asked about it. I said, yes, it's fine. Go to the beach. I said, if you want, just have a swim, but just up to your knees.
Can I just say the weird thing about it is they said they biked 5K. I don't know. Susie doesn't look like she's a biker.
No.
You know?
Oh, hell no, you're not going to do this. You're not going to do this. No.
It's funny you say that, Thane. People of all sizes, it's been proven that people of all sizes, shapes, sizes, creeds, ethnicities. Look, I don't care if you're black, white, yellow, green, red, pink, or blue. You can ride a bike. I don't care if you're purple or whatever.
And that's a fact.
That's a fact.
Give us your little salute. Give us a salute. Perfect. Thanks, man. That's the show, everyone. See you Monday.